Second,
Aye.
Hernandez. So that's 6:20, we're out of closed session. We do in fact have reportable action taken. We've currently completed the 2025 General Manager Performance Evaluation. At this time, I'm going to pass it over to our legal department to speak a little bit about the monetary aspect of it.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. The board has, as mentioned, completed the general manager's evaluation and has made the threshold decision by a 4-0 vote to increase his compensation. According to Government Code 54957B4, the amount of the increase in compensation is a proper matter for discussion in open session. Accordingly, the board will now conduct the discussion about the increase in the compensation. We'll conduct a vote on it, and then staff and legal counsel will prepare the appropriate documents to affect the board's decision.
Okay. I will put on the floor a 4% cost of living let me back up here. A 5% merit increase. A merit-based increase reflecting the general manager's consistent contributions to our overall success of this organization. So I'd like to open up to the board regarding this 5% merit increase.
Director Webb here, I think based on the direction of the district and the involvement that the general manager has had in moving the district forward and meeting some goals that he's been given by the board, I think that's a fair compensation number.
Okay. I agree.
I agree.
Okay, well, let's take a vote on this, huh? Roll call vote, or shall we?
Roll call vote, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so Director Jose Hernandez,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon is absent, Director Rick Webb,
Yes.
Vice President Greg Wood,
Yes.
President Gregory Washington.
Yes. Okay, cost of living adjustment. You know, a lot of people know it as COLA, but for some people don't know what COLA means.
It can be Pepsi.
Yeah, it's a cost of living adjustment. I propose a 4% cost of living adjustment. This adjustment assures the general manager's compensation remains in line with current economic conditions and remains competitive within the water industry.
I would like to add to that, if I could, Mr. President, is that to make a note that the 4% COLA is the same COLA that our employees received in their contract negotiations. And I think it's very important that whatever employees and staff receive, that the general manager receives the same amount. And so therefore I'm very approving of the 4% cost of living raise.
Thanks for adding that. Add some clarity. Okay, any other comments? Okay, roll call vote on the 4% cost of living adjustment.
Director Jose Hernandez Jr.,
Yes.
Director Byron Glennon is absent, Director Rick Webb,
Yes.
Vice President Greg,
Yes.
President Gregory Washington.
Yes. Okay,
Can I say thank you?
okay. Do you have any comments or?
Just to say
anything?
thank you.
Okay, great.
Very generous.
Okay, we move on to public comments at this time.
Got to open general session, sir.
Oh, I didn't open general, I'm sorry. Okay, let's open general session. The time is 6:24. Thank you, I keep getting caught up with this time. Okay, public comments. At this time, any person may address the board on any subject within the district's jurisdiction, which is not on the agenda. However, any non-agenda matter will be referred to the staff for a report and/or action at a subsequent board meeting, and no action can be taken on any such item discussed unless action has been authorized under the government code. Any person may also address the board on any agenda matter at the time that matter is being discussed prior to the board consideration and action. Speakers are requested to limit their comments to 5 minutes. Any public comments out there? No public comments? Voluntary public roll call via teleconference. Any member of the public on the teleconference video conference wishes to identify themselves as present for the meeting, please do so now for the record and minutes. No one's out there? Okay.
There are 2 participants, but
Okay.
should they play?
All right. Okay. Consent calendar, CC1, review of the check voucher register dated January 6, 2026 through January 19th, 2026. Includes payroll direct deposit dated January 14th, 2026. It's payroll checks dated January 14, 2026. Motion to approve, CC1.
Motion approved, sir.
I'm sorry, no discussion, huh? Okay. Approved by Director Webb.
I'll second.
Second by Director Wood. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That's 4-0. Minutes, I'll do M1 through M3. Approval of the January 12th, 2026 Finance Committee meeting minutes, the January 12th, 2026 Personnel Committee meeting minutes, and the January 14th, 2026 regular board meeting minutes. Motion approved, M1 through 3.
Make a motion.
Motion by Director Wood,
I'll second.
second by Director Hernandez. Discussion?
I'll make one comment. Sir, you do the agendas.
Yes.
You do a good job. I'm just looking at all the, date to this and the direct deposit that or whatever. You do a very good job on this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, all right. That's all I had. That was the comment more so than the discussion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, move 4-0. New business. Approval of task order 2026-1 with ACOM Design Services for Administrative Generator Project. Presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. So on the morning of August 4th, 2025, we received a notification from Edison that there would be a power shutdown. The staff checked on the emergency generator. The generator would not come on to operate. So that created a situation where our IT staff, which is one person, by the way, had a rush over here and shut down all of our machines because the planned power shutdown was going to happen, and we would have potential for data loss if the machines were not shut down properly. So that led staff to have to get a rental generator to provide the emergency backup that we needed in the case there was an unplanned power outage. And what this did was prompt staff to have to consider replacing this generator, this existing generator, which has been here for over 20 years. So we looked at a few options. We spent some time trying to repair it, number one. We spent some time and I asked AECOM to come out and give us a proposal to just, because in our current procurement policy, if it's over $75,000, we have to go out to bid. And so in order to go out to bid, you got to prepare plans and specs. You have to. And so I asked the AECOM to put a proposal together, which we hung on to for a while because we were trying to see if we can get a generator like for like to be put in for $75,000 or less. And they they were close, getting to be close, but the biggest concern we had was when AECOM came out and looked at our existing generator and primarily the switchgear. There's a lot of current code issues out there, that if we were to need to be permitted, we would need to bring up all of our switchgear to code, and there are some issues. So, it wasn't gonna be an easy swap for swap. We looked at, in the meantime, we've got it up and running again. But then there was a radiator leak, which would then we then repaired the radiator and have it placed it back into service. But the reality is, we really need to replace it. And so,
I'm wearing duct tape.
so we held on to this proposal for a while. That's why it's dated November 5th. But we think we need to move forward so they can put together a design that could be then properly put out to bid so that we can get, because just for the board's information and just to kind of reiterate, public agencies have to bid their projects according to the public contract code, which means that there's particular rules on how a bid's put together, particular rules on what a contractor has to pay his employees, his prevailing wage. There's particular rules on a lot of different things, bonding and things like that, that if we went just to a private sector contractor, they would not have those things. It would seem cheaper, and it always seems more expensive when we do things with public money. And the unfortunate thing is that's the reality, is because there's so many things that we have to do in order to be compliant with law and public contract code. So, we ask for these expenditures not because, we think it's the best, we think it is necessarily the best approach, but we ask for these expenditures because we're required to. So I just wanted to make that point, before, and it's for the amount of the engagement is
That's
for
70,000.
$70,700. And it's gonna involve, and if you went through the scope, we have to do a load analysis, because the reality is we might be able to downsize it. It is a big generator for the size of our operation. So if we can get it for a rate at a lower rating, we can save some money there. And not only that, we also have the opportunity to swap out some switchgear to bring it up to code. Because the reason there's code changes is because it's usually a safety issue. So just wanted to point that out. But anyway, this engagement with AECOM would be to prepare the plan specifications, the bid documents, so we could go out to bid. It's for $70,700. It's time and materials, and the staff recommends approval.
Okay, motion to approve task order 2026-1, the design services for the administration generator project with AECOM.
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Flett, second by Director Hernandez. Discussion?
Yeah, I kind of want to take this opportunity that does not surprise me about the switchgear. That's usually where you have, that's the Pandora's box. And some people may say, oh, $70,000 to get the design and all the specs. But when it comes to these kind of generators, you just don't go down to your local generator store and just say, I want that one right there, and come in and hook it up. It's got to be designed to take care of everything that you are wanting that generator to take care of in case of a power outage. And if it's not done correctly and it's not spec'd out correctly, that $70,000 that you save by not spending that could end up costing this agency 5 times that amount, and having to fix a problem that's created by not doing your due diligence to get the right equipment in here that's spec'd out, and the wiring and everything else. And so I think it's a good investment.
I think we go to Harbor Freight like Frederick.
Gosh.
You pay for what you get. That's the longest short.
Yeah.
You pay for what you get, people. And I know people may say that's a lot of money, but you brought up at this point. If you build something right the first time, you don't have to go back for the second time. So
We did get.
One other comment I wanted to make is that, the generator has to be permitted by your district as well.
yeah.
And, if we're gonna find out that when we buy this generator, it's gonna have to meet the current tier requirements. Right now, we have a tier 2, and it's almost guaranteed we're gonna need a tier 3.
Yeah.
We permit it. So either way, we're gonna need to have engineer drawings to get us to that point where we can permit it. So I just wanted to make that point as well.
Do you think, Kim, that under the current CARB regulations that they're gonna even allow you to put a diesel generator in there? Are they gonna want you to do a gas drive?
Or solar.
So I've been doing some research on this, since it is an emergency piece of equipment and not a daily use style thing, it seems at this stage that a diesel will be fine. I did want to add, just to let you guys know, we are not without a generator at the moment. We have a rental one hooked up. So if there is a power outage, there will be no interruption of service to staff. So it's not dead in the water, but we understand that we're spending money right now until we can get this going. So I just want to make sure you guys do that. But no, as of right now, it's looking like we're going to be going with the tier 3 diesel.
Okay. Very good. What happens to the old one? Can we sell it, or what, does it go to salvage, or what happens with this?
So in Arizona.
So I'm wondering, Javier's resource.
So I will say that there's some options that we're looking at of actually surplusing and getting some money back, but if it was something that we thought we could fix ourselves, John's not here, but I do want to commend him of the work he has done on getting different people out here and us coming to the conclusion that it's time to replace it. He has done his due diligence. So if somebody wants to buy it and see if they can figure it out, but the tech I met with, John and I, Monday, and we were looking at it, he's like, you could do this,
Yeah.
you could do this, but he didn't think that it was a guarantee, and we kind of came to the conclusion it was time. So it's probably gonna be more of a disposal style,
And what year is that diesel out there right now?
too.
Two. 20 years is a long time for a standby generator that is routinely turned on every month and run through load testing and everything else. So I think the district's got their money's worth out of that generator and then some.
I agree.
Okay. All in favor?
All right.
That's right.
Yeah, there's a motion, Director Wood, and then
Hernandez, and then
Oh,
discussion.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on. Wait. I'm sorry.
all right.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed? We're 0. New business 2, approval of resolution 2026-1, accepting an easement for water line purposes from Jean and Charlene, Mulchers, APN 375-211-22. Presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
thank you, Mr. President. According to this water line easement is an extension to serve property. I have a depiction of where the property location is in the staff report. And the extension is, now I can't even read you know what street that is on?
I can get it. Everyone can get it.
I'm sorry, because 58th Street. 58th Street West. So it's extending the water line north along the western side of this property, if you look at the diagram. And so the district policy for accepting easements falls on the board of directors. So this is why this is brought to you. It's by resolution. the applicant or the person that's giving us, that's dedicating the easement to us, the Melchers, they requested it, they paid for all of the engineering, the associated surveying and engineering for this. So, this is no cost at no cost to the district, to service their the property that they are building upon. And so the recommendation is to adopt the resolution that accepts the water line easement.
Okay, motion to approve resolution 2026-1, accepting an easement for water line purposes from the mulchers. Motion to approve by Director Webb,
Second.
second by Director Wood. Discussion? No discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Measure passes 4-0. New business 3, consideration approval of property lien for delinquent accounts pursuant to Government Code Section 61115C. Presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. And this action is after staff has expended all efforts to collect on accounts. Typically, these accounts that are delinquent in this fashion usually tend to be either transfer ownership or someone who's deceased and just has not been unable to pay. Or how long do these usually go for?
Well over 180 days.
Well over 100 days. So I have some good news to report though. One of these certificates is I would like for the board to not consider to approve, and that is for APN 472473-43-8. That one I'm asking that you remove from consideration. We're going to remove it out of Exhibit A because they actually came and settled their account. So we were able to collect based on the letter. So it's just one. It looks like one certificate.
Okay. And can you repeat those numbers, please? APN?
It is APN, it's for the Boyds, Luana and Julian Boyd. And it's 472-473-43-8. That's the one coming out of Exhibit A.
Okay. All right, motion to approve, consideration approval of property lien for delinquent accounts pursuant to Government Code Section 61115, with the exception of APN 472-473-43-8. Motion to approve.
Motion approved with the, one property removed, sir.
Motion by Director Webb,
Second with changes.
second by Vice President Wood. Discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Measure moves 4-0. Director reports, comments, future agenda items. I'll start with Vice President Wood. We missed you at the last meeting. We know that you were at a water conference, and
Yes.
I'd like to hear a little bit about it.
Well, don't shoot the messenger. But I attended the CASA conference in Indian Wells, January 14 through 16, 2026. They had a lot of information on pending legislation, regulatory issues, and a lot of other topics that I'll be going over in the coming months as they make their way through the legislative process. What I want to focus on tonight is the one piece of legislation that now has a current impact on our agency and board of directors. It is in reference to California SB 707, which was signed into law late last year. SB 707 is the new legislation that makes several major changes to the Ralph M. Brown Act. And it is described as modernizing and bringing the Ralph M. Brown Act into the 21st century. And since SB 707 is quite extensive, and covers a lot of areas. I will summarize the direct impact SB 707 has on our agency. Teleconference. Under the old Brown Act, for a member to attend a meeting remotely, all he had to do was have the address of the remote location posted on the agenda and the agenda posted in a public place prior to the meeting. And then the board member could simply call in and participate by phone. Well, under SB 707, there are a lot of significant changes made under teleconferencing rules. First one is public place requirements. Under the new rules, state that any teleconferencing location must be accessible to the public. They mention places like Starbucks or another place where the public can go in and out of, but they weren't real specific on that. So the old thought that leaving your hotel room door open during the meeting meets the public accessibility requirement may not apply anymore. So this is something legal counsel will have to research and advise. If you are teleconferencing from a remote location, you are now required to have audio visual equipment in place so that those at the boardroom can see you and you can see them. You are also now required to identify any person over the age of 18 that is in the room with you. And your relationship with that person, whether it be personal or professional with that person. If a board member is sick or suffering from a disability, be it temporary or permanent, there is now a new clause called the Reasonable Accommodation Clause, which allows for that board member to participate remotely. And although the same audio-visual rules apply, the visual rule can be bypassed if the person's disability doesn't allow them to be on camera. It is now required to report in the minutes why the board member was participating remotely. But an exception for the board member who was teleconferencing due to illness or disability, the minutes do not have to state the reason, but simply say that reasonable accommodations is the reason for the teleconference. Also, to harken back to the days of the pandemic, when it was regular practice for maybe one or two board members would be here in the boardroom, while everyone else participated by phone, is now a thing of the past. The new rules are that now a quorum of the board must be in the boardroom for any teleconferencing to take place. Participation in committee meetings. In the past, when committee meetings or ad hoc meetings took place, and because the majority of the board was not present, and no decisions are made and voted on in committee meetings, that if a committee member was unable to be at the meeting in person, then they could call in and participate, but that is no longer the case. Under the new rules in regards to committees or ad hoc committees, staff members and members of the public who are committee members will still be able to participate by phone. But any elected or appointed board members who are on the committees must physically be in attendance to participate in committee and ad hoc committee meetings. Zoom meetings and phone lines. Now that we have our meetings, Zoom and teleconferencing and all this other stuff for the public to be able to attend the meetings remotely from their home, they can come and go as they please. But if there's a power outage here, if we lose internet connection here on our end, if our feed goes down somehow, the meeting has to stop and no further action can be taken during that meeting until that connection is restored and resolved. whether there's anybody on the line or not. But because we do offer that service, we have, if something goes down and we're notified that our feed has gone down, we've lost, for whatever reason, then the meeting cannot move forward and no action can be taken on any items until that is the result. And I think there's some time constraints on that. Our legal counsel will have to kind of zero in on that. On the Brown Act, in regards to the Brown Act, the agency must now provide all elected and appointed members with a copy of the Brown Act. And there was a lot of information to take in on all the changes to the Brown Act and a lot of changes that what is referred to as eligible agencies does not apply to us, but most of the changes took effect on January 1st, 2026. And the changes for eligible agencies will take effect July 1st, 2026. As for this report, I believe that I got everything pretty accurate, but we will need to have our legal counsel review SB 707 and report back on how this specifically impacts the RCSD. And that concludes my report on CASA. Now I've got, back in September, I shared with the board that I was invited by Aqua to sit on one or more of their committees, and I am pleased to announce that Aqua has appointed me to 2 committees, the Water Quality Committee and the Groundwater Committee for Region 7. And I am looking forward to representing the RCSD on these very important committees. And I'm also very humbled to be asked by Aqua to be a part of the committees. That concludes my report.
Good report, very informative, thank you. We'll swing over to Director Webb.
Another basketball game tomorrow. A couple things here. I attended the groundbreaking services for the new shopping center at 30th and Rosewood Boulevard across from high school. It looks like it's going to be a really nice project there. They're going to anchor, sounds like with a gas station, a coffee shop or whatever, but it sounds like it's going to be a really good thing. And one of the things that I liked that they talked about being able to hire people from the community to work there at the center. And it's huge. The principals, the lady named Pina, I guess she owned the property and she brought in some people. The general manager is familiar with, his name's Max, right, Mr. Kim?
Mr. Becerra, yes.
Yeah, Max Becerra. Real decent guy. They had a follow-up conversation and they sound like they want to move forward. They have a real estate company out of Bakersfield, but it's kind of nice to have something coming on that big hunk of land that's going to involve the community. And, the groundbreaking Assistant General Manager Stewart was out there. And some other people, the county supervisor showed up and some other elected officials, so it was pretty nice. So that was one of them. The other thing, our phone line back up.
No, sir,
Are we for real? Oh my Lord, oh my goodness. Anyway, and the other thing there too, I know Mr. Assistant General Manager, you came in a whirlwind, dude. They were throwing darts, but you know what? Bring rises to the top, and I'm seeing you doing a good job. I'm hearing you doing a good job. Thank you for the commitment. Thank you for the effort. And the few things I've asked you about, as far as community wellness, you've been spot on. So thank you very much. I know you came in under fire, and that had nothing to do per se you, but thank you very much for standing tall for us. And that's what I have, sir.
Good report.
Oh, by the way, tomorrow night, if you folks are available, Roseman's playing a doubleheader at the high school, a basketball game. So I'm officiating the game. So if you folks want to see their clubs are pretty good. So if you guys get a chance, come support them.
And come see you officiate.
There you go. It's always one technical foul for somebody. Okay, man.
Good. All right. Director Hernandez.
I just want to add that what I'm seeing, the future of Rosamond is bright. And I say that confidently. The future of Rosamond is bright.
All right. I don't have any comments tonight. So we'll move forward with general counsel update. Mr. Komar.
I've got nothing for you other than that I will follow up on Director Wood's comments about new SB 707 and make sure that the district complies with all of the new rules going forward.
Good stuff to report on. All right. Okay, we'll move over to the general manager update. Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a few things, just wanted to, let the board that the water and sewer rate study, the user fee studies, are getting very close to wrapping up. It'll be agendized for the next meeting, for you to approve the financing plan and then to move forward with finalizing the report and then authorizing the 218 notifications. So I want you to be ready to, the presentation should be pretty self-explanatory. Very encouraged. I'm very encouraged by the recommended rates. Just so you know, I'm gonna whet your appetite a little bit without telling you exactly where it's at, but I'm very encouraged. I think you will be as well. Also want to remind you that I am going to be at CWEA to present with a particular board member who wrote me and Ryan into it. So I will be out next week, Tuesday through, no, excuse me, 2 weeks, Tuesday through Thursday. And so I will actually be calling in, testing that new Brown Act, the new SB 707, but yeah, it doesn't apply to staff.
No.
So I'll be calling in for the board meeting at that night. So it'll be my first, I think it'll be the first time I'm gonna try to do that. So hopefully that goes well. Also want to say that we had a meeting yesterday with the civil engineering commander and his squad yesterday. Where's Air Force Base?
Space.
Yeah, a very exciting concept for a project to address some housing issues they have on base. So they are proposing a project that would be on the base, but would be very close to the community, that would potentially utilize the district's utilities to serve it. It's in the very early stages of this project, but it seems like this is the one, and they admitted to us in the meeting that this is not something the Air Force normally does, is work with the community to provide utilities. But it seems like this is the best solution for what they're finding and their impacts. They're just having a hard time getting people to sign up to join the mission here because of the housing crunch that we are in and what they are unable to offer on base, as far as amenities and as far as the community. And by kind of utilizing the Rosamond community's community, they think it's going to make it much more attractive for them to attract talent to be part of their mission. So it's very exciting. And as we hear more, again, it was kind of an early planning meeting. The President Washington and Vice President Wood were both in attendance. I thought it was a very productive meeting and very encouraging meeting as it relates to just the available rental market here. I think they will address some serious shortages that we have here in the community if they follow through with this project. So that's very exciting.
Good.
Yeah, one bit to that, going back to the ground opening, the lady Tina and her presentation, she addressed housing also. So it seemed like, I guess everyone's aware of this housing shortage, housing need. They didn't bring up the word affordability, they said housing need. So I guess that could be a hot topic in our particular region.
Right.
And I will say, Tina The developer also has one residential project that I think she's worked at. I know she's paid fees. That is actually a combination, single family dwelling and an ADU already all on a corner lot. We saw the layout. I don't think when it's gonna be built, but yeah, I think it's kind of it was a test project for her to see if that concept would work in a full development. But yeah, it would address a lot of needs in this community.
Good start.
I agree.
HDM, would you like to add a couple comments? I thought you had some good points in the meeting.
No, I appreciate the I appreciate the opportunity. But I agree. I think that it's very exciting, and I think it would definitely bring some. I'm trying to think of a good word, not alleviation, but alleviate some of the
Some traffic on the Roseman Boulevard.
and maybe even add another access point to that side of the
Yeah.
tracks. I think would be.
They even spoke of emergency medical services, huh? That will be,
Yeah, I pointed out that in the meeting that, and I asked about emergency services and how they were planning to provide that. Because they normally would provide it with they got guys with guns. So,
right.
so they would normally do it, but they would be so far removed from their station that they would actually, have an agreement with, Kern County, for fire and for sheriff patrol services. But I did mention, I said, one of the biggest challenges of that is going to be having a way for traffic, for access. I call it a grade separation. What that is, it's an overpass over the railroad.
Sierra Highway.
That's Sierra Highway. That really needs to happen somewhere in this community, right? I mean, we just don't have that. And so, so perhaps this will be the impetus that will get something like that in place, because I think that's tremendously needed.
Yeah, Mr. Jim, can I ask you a quick question? We had talked a while back about charging stations, and the reason I'm bringing it up is that yesterday I was in Lancaster, and by the grocery store bank, they're putting in a new bank of those Tesla charging stations. Apparently, this new development is going to have some also. And I know we had briefly talked about it, but maybe if you could circle back this year to see if there's going to be some grants available for them. I know the electrical car market is not getting all the hoopla it was, but maybe if you could circle back around and see if there's anything coming up or floating up that would have grants to put in those stations. Maybe we could consider something like that.
I'll do some research. I will do some research on that.
Because I'm thinking, just me, the front part of our lot here, since we don't have a gate there, maybe put some across the front part over there, because I've never seen a parking lot full to capacity. But anyhow, thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else, Mr. General Manager?
Oh, no, thank you.
That's it? Okay. Okay, we'll move over to Director of Administration Update, Sherry Kim.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had 301 pending notice of disconnection and 92 door tags delivered in the month of January. And these notified account holders of the pending shut-off for non-payment. We also had 937 delinquent accounts that were charged a total of $5,008.49 in late fees in the month of January. We actually started our mass meter change-out project today. We have a total of 503 registers that will be changed over from the old register to the Metron registers, which will greatly increase the ability to look at what we've got without having to go out and read. We've been piloting the Metron meters for a few years now, and customer service is very happy with the ability that we have to service the customers and to provide information to the customers with these types of meters. And that's the end of my report. Is there any questions?
Yeah, can I ask you to go a little more in detail for Director Hernandez what the Matron meter is? I'm not sure if you know.
Sure.
It's pretty cool.
So we have for years used a radio read system with a particular meter that would require a staff member to take a computer in their car and drive through neighborhoods to pick up the reads from these types of meters. The Metron meters that we are switching to are a cellular read, so they rely on a cell signal to transmit, and that comes directly to the software, which is accessed by staff. So you get real-time information that's transmitted within overnight within, so it's the next business day, the read from the previous day is given. But really it's very intuitive. It can pretty much with 90% accuracy determine where the flow is coming from. And it provides continual flow information, so it helps us identify leaks quicker. And one of the biggest benefits to our customers is that they can see the same thing if they download, or not, there's on the app, there's a website,
Right.
and they have access to sign up for a website
At no cost to them.
at no cost.
Wow.
That's good stuff.
So it's bringing our services up to 21st century.
Wow.
You can go to your phone app and say, it was that running toilet,
Yeah.
that leaking toilet.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good stuff. All right. Anything else?
Well, that's the end of my.
All right, thank you. Great. Oh, one question. How has this phone system impacted billing, or I got a couple people screamed at me this weekend behind it.
One of the phone lines, the main phone line has been transferred to a cell phone. So we are accepting calls that, we had 3 lines before, 3 active lines. So it may take a little bit longer for a customer to speak to someone. And the impact is that the customers that were used to making payments over the phone cannot do that. However, our website is still active. So they are able to go online to do that. But the organization of the office, their business hours to pay. But we're hoping that
I've seen them and the staff has given us reports that they, multiple trucks working on it periodically through the week. It's been escalated to the area manager and the construction team, but again, they don't have an estimated time to restore. So
It's been a month, huh?
over a month. We have put in a dispute to not pay the bill this month.
You know what's amazing about this? I know how you guys are handling it, so we're doing something, but you think of modern day time, modern day technology, this can be done. But in defense of having stuff pulled out, in LA, they have whole communities that are dark because they're still in the copper wire and the resources. So I guess bad for us, but it's bad for everybody because copper is a money resource for people. But yeah, a month time, you would think with AT&T, that's a big utility, they can get things done. But we're not big enough to get it done by AT&T. So.
I saw on the news yesterday, 2 guys were stealing copper wire out of a manhole and the police were out.
Yeah,
and one guy wouldn't come out. He wouldn't come out the manhole for hours.
That they call SWAT. Well, that's effort equals reward, huh?
Yeah. Okay, moving to a public works update, Mr. John Houghton.
I'll be filling in for John.
Okay.
If you have any questions on that, while you look at the public report, I do want to take this time to congratulate some staff on some achievements recently in the past couple months. Along with that, it should be appearing in next month's newsletter, so our ratepayers will know. I would first like to congratulate Daniel Hernandez for obtaining his water treatment operator grade 2.
All right.
Sean Pimentel,
Grade 2.
he also got his water treatment grade 2. Bernardo Herrera received his water distribution operator grade 4.
Ooh.
Matt Walton, same water distribution operator grade 4, and Brian, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Solares.
That's right.
He actually got his wastewater treatment plant operator grade 2 as well. And then another one I just want to say real quick. This one is not a required thing. Staff member Tim Seifert, I probably said that one wrong. Apologize, Tim. He shared with us that he just recently completed an Arizona State University water management certificate, which focused on water systems, operations, and resource planning, sustainability, and regulatory compliance. He has taken a goal in his life to further his education, and he's looking for other things. He's also currently working on his 2-year public works specialist program. He's about 5 classes shy, so he's going for it. So I want to say thanks to the staff for continuing their education, and
When other things change, I'll bring it to the board to let you guys know as well.
I know you can't, the public can't see it, but, the assistant GM shared this little picture here with the snag thing. This is probably the most thought of thing that when he's on his staff, in an acting assistant.
One that got,
Oh, this is mine, okay.
AC,
Yeah.
MC.
I think there's
Safe drinking water.
props for the teams pass along.
I definitely will.
Thank you, sir.
And if there's any questions on the public works report, I'll be happy to answer them as best I can.
I would also like to share a kudos that we received today from one of the customers that had their meter changed out to the new Metron meter. She gave a shout out to our public works supervisor, Larry Warren, for his assistance in helping locate the meter box. She was just really not aware of where it was. No one could find it. The contractors were out trying to locate the meter to change it out. Didn't know where it was, so they called Larry, he came over right away, and they located it under like a rosemary bush. Yeah, that had overgrown and they were not aware. So she was very thankful and said how great and just caring enough that Larry came out right away and appreciated the service.
She was extremely worried about disposing of the trimmed branches off the rosemary bush and Larry brought them back to the yard and we disposed of them here, so Larry went above and beyond on that.
Good for
Great,
you.
great.
Good for you.
Hey, back to the certifications. Do you guys physically display them anywhere on a wall, or
Actually, yes, most of the guys have them by their.
we call it the Wall of Fame?
Yeah, they actually keep them around their desks.
Oh, okay.
Not every operator has a desk. We're working on that right now. They do have the seating areas, so they are presenting.
Okay, great. Okay, any other questions? Anything else? Okay, before we adjourn, I just have a comment, a big shout out to our PR team. We'll share a quick story. I was watching a video the other day of the RMAC meeting, and Director Webb was representing Rcsd there, and a community member asked him about water theft. So he answered the question. The community resident asked another question about it and another question. So I thought, what's going on with this? And at the conclusion of the discussion, he says, well, I was just wondering, because I read the newsletter and I got off the newsletter. And so that newsletter, again, I've said it many times, is very effective. So thank you guys for that. That's all I have. Anything else? Okay, we will adjourn at 7:12. All right, good.